Alright guys, today I wanted to bring you a different kind of video. My friend Angel ended up taking down the SCG Con Milwaukee 10K, so I had to get a deck profile from him. He has been killing it at Riftbound in the past couple of months, and he's already making waves in the new set with Draven. During the 5K on Friday, he lost the win and in versus Jim Davis, so he came back for a revenge on Saturday for the 10K and took down the whole thing. I will post this matchup breakdown in the description of the video for anyone curious. And then if you like this type of IRL content, let me know. I'm very fortunate to have an awesome Riftbound community in the Milwaukee area, so getting more videos like this should be super fun. Don't forget to show some love for my boy in the comments, like, subscribe, and let's get into the deck profile. Alright, we're with my boy Angel. He just won the Riftbound 10K and he's gonna give us a small deck tech.
Hey, so I ended up playing Draven. I won the 10K for SCG, and yeah, this is going to be my deck. I ended up playing 3 Treasure Hunter, 3 Fan, and 2 Tie Binder. These 2 drops are just utility. They're very good at starting the pressure. This card's generically powerful with Reaver's Row out, just being able to use the power from the treasures, and you can get pretty tricky with the tide turners with like Darius's. Next we have our 4s, which is going to be Hopeful and Kaisas. Again, best in slots, cost reduction. If you play any other game, you know that cost reduction on cards typically ends up breaking the card. Kaisa just being able to replace herself and be able to get into combat the same turn she comes down. Very good. Also important to note, Kaisa, when she's sniping a little unit from a battlefield, she's going to be drawing 2 because of the Glorious Executioner trigger. Probably one of the hardest things to come back from. Such a great tempo swing. We have 3 Darius. Again, just one of the best red units you can play. Let you get in and just, yeah, clear things. Forerunner, I just play as one of. I think this is more or less just filler. It's very strong in what it does, but into the mirror matches, I'm not really much of a fan. I feel it can get pushed off with this meta being so purple focused. Fighter flights and rebukes everywhere. This card is usually just not great. However, it is really good into Kaisa, and I think Kaisa is probably our worst matchup. Where this card shines, it just checks singularities and checks unchecked powers very nicely, punishes them for trying to interact with you. Next up is probably the best card in the deck and probably the best card in the format. We're going to have Thunder Songs. This shuts down every other mobility deck, every other purple deck that's being played right now. They're all playing Fireflights, all playing Rebukes, and Thunder Song makes it so you will guarantee combat wins and guarantee games if you play it right. So that's my unit setup. Next up we have the Spells stack deck. Just the best card in general. Just one, look at the top 3, fixes your hand, and during mulligans, you can just pitch this since this is going to replace itself anyways. 2 Rebuke and 2 Falling Star. I think these 2 cards are very strong right now. I think Rebuke is just probably one of the best tempo swings you can have right now, especially with all the gold generation. This card just feels really good to play. Same with Falling Star. Falling Star just always being able to just 2 for 1, and even in some cases just be able to clear a Draven. Very good. You can switch this out for like a Piercing Light if you want. That would be my only suggestion for that. Switcheroo. This never came up for me. I, in fact, sided it out most of the time. It's a very strong card. However, I feel most people play around it pretty well. So, oftentimes, it ends up being a dead card most of the time. And just how I like to play, I don't really hide cards that have value often or need specific situations that occur to happen. Oftentimes, when I'm hiding cards, it's usually going to be more of a defensive play or my equipment, and I'll get to that in a second. So next up we have 3 Fighter Flight. Again, kind of like Rebuke, this is one of your best cards. like I just mentioned with the hidden mechanic. I think this is really good to play defensively, allowing you to save your Draven. You don't need to push away like an Irelia or their stuff, because they can always come back in. Again, this is a purple metagame where people are playing Ride the Winds. They can just re-enter that combat and punish you. So better to play defensively. That's how I like to play that card. We have Ride the Winds. Best card.
Best card.
one of the best cards. Really dumb in what it does. And yeah, it's another one, another card that you read it.
Best purple card by far.
Yeah, you read it and you just say, okay, that's cool. And then you proceed to just win the game anytime you play it. And then these are my spells. Last up I have equipment. And I played 3 Edge Knight, 3 Spinning Axe. And originally I was on 2 Spinning Axe. I went up to 3 after playing a couple games, realized how powerful this card is, how important this card is. Draven, being able to just have these axes for his signature spell is so critical. This is just a really crack card. I would not play less than 3. I also play hidden Edge Knights. This is another hidden card. This is my other hidden card I like to play with my fighter flights. A lot of time when I hide a Edge Knight, a lot of my opponents were assuming it was going to be a fighter flight or a switcheroo, so they would opt not to get into combats with me, allowing me to hold. And then I was always able to just flip over the Edge Knight and just create big tempo swings if I just wanted to get off the battlefield. So having this card as a hidden card made it to where I was able to mask my fighter flights easier.
Would you change anything in the main deck?
The only thing I'd probably end up changing would be probably Switcheroo. Switcheroo, like I said, is super situational. I think the card I would want to switch it with would be Angle Shot. I think Angle Shot as a card in the Draven mirrors is very powerful. Something to note about Angle Shot is in the beginning phase, when temporary is to pop off, there's a trigger that you can respond to save the Spinning Axe by using the Angle Shot to equip to a unit you control. And I think that's very powerful, and it also replaces itself. So you get to just save your axe, continue to apply pressure, and draw a new card. And I think that's just very powerful, and I think that's probably where I'd want to go with that. Other than that, I don't think I would change anything in the main board outside of that.
Okay. What about your battlefields?
My battlefields, I'm pretty sure most Draven lists, if not all, are on the same 3 right now, which is in game 1s, we're starting with Reaver's Row. Reaver's Row is just the most powerful card for Draven to have access to. Treasure Hunter as an early unit allows you to leverage this really well. And then Reaver's Row, anytime they decide to run away from with the trigger, you will always draw a card off Draven. So this is a very punishing battlefield for your opponents to have to play through. Always want to see it in game 1. In the mirror match, you can opt to play the Targon's Peak if you want to get a little cheeky, but I think my opponent's always going to play Reavers. If they are also thinking they can get away with the Targons, I'd rather just have the Reavers out there. So always start with Reavers. On the draw, you want to go with Obelisk. So when you win game 1 or win game 2, and your opponent gets to decide, you want to lead on Obelisk. If they want to go first, they get the 3 runes, but you get to start with a Draven on board if your hand doesn't line up really well. So that's very powerful. I would not change these 2. Targon's Peak, I really like as well. I wouldn't change this one as well. Targon's Peak, being able to apply pressure and then hold up an axe, or be able to just go into a battlefield, play out one of your 4-cost unit, and then still hold up interaction, makes this a headache for most people, and typically is going to guarantee you a win. So yeah, these are my battlefields.
And now Sideboard?
Yep. My Sideboard, I had 1 Mind Splitter for the mirror match. I played 2 Forerunners. Like I said, I don't really like Forerunner right now in this current metagame. However, in matchups like Kaisa, matchups like Victor, This card typically is a very punishing card for them through Call the Weeks, Singularities, Unchecked Powers. This card just answers all those cleanly while letting you continue to apply pressure. I played one Thermo Beam for like Azir and any rogue deck I really saw. I didn't bring it up in the mirror match. I don't think people are on Edge of Nights, and if they are, I never saw them in any of the mirror matches I played this weekend. But yeah, I just wanted to have something to be able to beat Arise. Arise is a very powerful effect, and I think Azir is actually a really strong aggro deck.
Do you bring that against Aurora?
Yeah, more than likely, but I think I can probably win without it.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up putting this in Saturday. I didn't have this in my sideboard Friday. I only put it in because I went into multiple matchups where like it was like Azir or just some random gear production deck. So I just said, you know what? I just want to have an answer, and I also kind of floating on my 8th card anyways. So I said I'll just throw in a Thermo Beam and see what happens. And then I never sided it. So that's how that goes. I play the 3rd Falling Star in sideboard. You can put this as a Piercing Light. I think I said that about the main board as well, but I think Piercing Light in the sideboard is probably correct over the 3rd Falling Star. Piercing Light allowing you to double up on killing 2 units is really powerful and can swing the mirror match in your favor really fast. I had a lot of my mirror matches siding Piercing Lights against me, and I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, I would consider playing a Piercing Light moving forward. I played 2 Hard Bargains. Hard Bargains were for the Kaisa matchups and the Victor matchups. Basically any type of control strategy, any spell-based strategy. I even bring these in against Irelia because you can get them in situations where they just end up, you force them to interact with you, and you just try to stop them from countering a key spell or getting that last pump. And the last one, the 3rd Thunder Song. 3rd Thunder Song is so important in all the movement based. You can play this, the 3rd one over the 3rd Forerunner in the main. If you just want to guarantee wins against Irelia and Draven all day in your game ones. I like the split between Forerunner and the Thunder Songs right now, just because you're not guaranteed to see Irelia and Draven all the time. You will see some number of Kaisas, and you'll be happy that you have the Forerunners. The Forerunner in main board. Mm-hmm. So that's my sideboard.
And then the rune split.
And then my rune split was pretty simple. It was just 6 and 6.
Okay.
Didn't feel like I needed to change that. I feel it was a pretty even distribution. And then the gold generation you create with Draven and Treasure Hunters help alleviate what your power costs are. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's my deck. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.